had to get my throat together because Naya, girl, I gotta get you together by the end of this review. When I tell you I have never in my life, well maybe today, been so embarrassed by the antics of a 42-year-old grown woman on TV on a dating show. The desperation of it all, the you had the audacity, the unmitigated gall, okay, let's start with the beginning. Hello, everyone. Okay, welcome to JLeesCorner and all that stuff. Have a seat, sit back, let's get started. Like the video, comment in the comment section, subscribe to my channel, become a whole JayBird, okay, and all that stuff and whatnot, all that goodness and whatnot. Follow me on IG and Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. Let's get started. Girl, I was like, this heifer here acting like we didn't watch the show, like we didn't see her all up, girl. So Chris being sent home is a topic of discussion. We got Edwin, Simone, Rasheed, and Adriana sitting around talking and whatever about it. And Rasheed and Simone both felt like it was crazy that after one conversation between Naya and Chris, where Chris said something that Naya did not like, that she was done with him and how she reacted to it. People have to realize nobody is upset that Naya feel like she wants a man in her life who can financially support her, who she doesn't want a man who wants to split the bills. She has every right to feel that way. She really do. But it was how she treated him after that makes her a fucked up human being and whatnot. Okay, we see Naya and Edwin talking because she liked Edwin. You know what I'm saying? She was kissing on Edwin. She liked the same way she was liking and kissing on Chris. She's liking and kissing on Edwin. You know what I'm saying? So they started talking or whatever. She brings up how, I asked Joy to reach out to Chris for me because I reached out to Chris and I noticed that he had deactivated his page and we were talking and he was going to help me do a podcast. I say, first of all, Alpha, he did not deactivate his page. He blocked you, bitch. Okay, he blocked you and you can't see his page because you did some bullshit or whatnot. Okay, again, you had him sent off the show because you felt some, because, girl, that goddamn Naya. Anyway, I also feel like, how dare you reach out to him after having him sent home on the show to have him help you with a podcast? Because again, he is a, popular radio DJ, in their town and whatnot. I would have blocked her ass too, truth be told. Gonna send me home over one conversation. Gonna diss me and dog me, act like you don't like me. Bull the shit. Okay, anyway, later on we do see Naya say how Edwin is more for me. I'm saying he's great on paper or whatever, and he is more stable. Meaning he can pay me what I need to be paid. He can pay the bills. He has more stability. Girl, the fuck bye. Now Edwin later on says again how Naya is a nice person. You know what I'm saying? She's a whole free spirit and whatnot, but she has not made a connection with anybody else mainly, and the way she operated in the process of leaving Chris alone was a whole red flag. Gets on my damn nerves. Okay, anyway, we then see Jay and Winter out on love. You know what I'm saying? Let's have some champagne. It wasn't even a date. It's like, let's see and have some champagne and whatnot. Now he say, okay, that he is still trying to make a decision between her and Joy. Every season we have the men on the show who is trying to make decisions between two women, and I feel like it's because the women will like a man. I like him right there. And sometimes that same man will like more than one woman, and the women don't focus on liking more than one man, and you get to the point to where it's you and another girl waiting for him to make a decision. I really wish the next season the women are more forthcoming with getting to know more than one man. make spread the stuff out a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because as the men do, the men like him. The men always are the one who has options. It's fucked up like that or whatever. Anyway, so Winter, like, I feel like him saying, I'm trying to see if our connection is real, because it's like a one-sided situation, because you are picking between two women. So I'm just kind of sitting around waiting to see what you're going to do. So it's kind of unfair to me. She also brings up how, moving forward, she's going to keep her options open, because she's not giving away any exclusive benefits to a non-exclusive man. And I'm like, I dig that, Winter, but it's a little late in the game to do that, because again, you have been focusing on someone who was focusing on someone else. And then see Brian and Alex have a little chit chat. I think they both need to go home, truth be told. So he asked, like, what's up with her, because again, last week when her friend was there, she's been acting a little bit standoffish since then, because the friend said, I feel like you are acting the way you act when you don't like someone. So now Alex, because her friend said, I don't think you like him, now she's questioning if she likes him. I would never let anyone tell me that I don't like someone. I wouldn't, because my thing is, trying to see where it goes isn't a bad thing, but questioning it too soon can make you lose time finding out if it's the right thing to do. Okay, anyway, she say for her, she felt like something within herself shifted, okay? And she just trying to figure it all out. So, like, yeah, okay, well, do you want me to, like, fall back or slow down and, leave alone or whatever? And she's like, well, no, that's okay. You don't have to do that. He jokingly then says something like, oh, okay, I gotta, roll with the punches or whatever. So you must have been abusive in your last relationship. Jokingly saying, that's why he's having to roll with the punches or whatever. And she then laughs with that. And she brings up, but I was in an abusive relationship for 3 years, in the past. And then she brings up how that's the reason why she's so guarded now about things and whatnot. And I think, that does happen with women a lot. But as she's talking, he says something that I don't even know if it was real words. I felt like he said, like, is this an analogy of an Alex? But I'm like, I didn't know what it meant. And even she was like, what? And he never clarified what he said. He then says how, they're just both still getting to know one another. And then how they have to keep learning and growing with each other. And I'm like, what the fuck is he talking about? Now, I get he may be saying, because he said, I don't know you that well and you don't know me that well. I'm like, but y'all don't talk all day? I feel like if you in the house and ain't nothing else to do, you talk all day. You talk, and figure out what's going on in their life or whatever. But she felt like he don't listen. Like, he talks a lot, but he don't listen. And I don't want to be with someone who doesn't see me for who I am. Now we then see California and Adriana sitting around in a little chair, hugged up, talking all cozy. Okay, all cozy and stuff. And then up walks crazy ass Denise. Okay, crazy ass Denise walks up or whatever. And as she's walking up, she's looking at them from a distance, okay? Because she walked from back there. So they don't see her walking up. But they can hear, like, heels or whatever. And now she walked past them. She kind of just shakes her head like, okay. And she keeps walking, but she looks at them and she laughs. And so they see her, they hear her laugh, they see her facial expression, something like, it's finna get messy, okay? And then she's in the confessional, like, Adriana looks unstable, hanging out with him when she said that Rasheed was her man, saying she trying to shit on everybody here, who's really ready to love, even saying she's only doing that to get under my skin. She needs to know her place. I'm looking like, I've never seen someone get so upset by the fact that they're on a dating show and the person she's dating, like, this is the process. Like, I like, you are really bothered. And to me, it really makes Denise look foolish, because there's no reason for you to react in this element. He's not your man. He isn't. Even if you like him, that does not mean that if someone else likes him, they have to back off. Okay, this is the thing to where neither woman wants to back off. And is Adriana really messing with California because she really likes him? I do think she likes him, but I also think she likes pissing Denise off. And I mean, that's sometimes the name of the game. But California, like, just stayed there and sat there and was like, I'm not getting up to go after her because, again, she's like, do you want to go talk to her? He was like, no, I'm going to sit here, whatever. She had all the time she needed with me earlier, like, it's okay. And then Denise then comes back out, okay, and she walked back past them and then said, keep it cute because y'all messy. I'm looking like, and it was messy of her to do that. And I'm like, girl, bye. So later on, California does go to Denise's room to have a bit of a little chit chat and whatnot, okay? And when he does that, he say how, I don't like drama. I don't have drama in my life, saying? That me and Denise hit it off when we first met, I'm saying? We had a connection. He's like, but this whole jealousy thing, and it's just not attractive. I'm saying, and I feel like if she keeps going, down that road, like, it's gonna knock her out the box. And while I feel like men cannot expect women to not have emotions and not have feelings, I also feel like Denise is putting 20 on 10 times 10, and she don't have to. California is right. I should be able to talk to someone on a dating show without you getting pissed off at me and walking around with all fucking attitude. But I'ma leave that be and whatnot. So when he got in the room, she like, so are you done now? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, look, we are all here, to get to know each other. And if you are talking to somebody else, I don't come up and interrupt you. So I feel like that should go both ways. Because Denise is a bit aggressive in the dating sense, to where she's being not aggressive, she's being very territorial over him. Okay. Anyway, so she then brings, but do I matter enough for you to come and talk to me first? Like, I should not have to ask you for that. He like, look, baby, I'm saying, I ain't no mind reader. I'm saying, confidence to me is key. I was like, the way that he changed his voice, he put some bass in his voice when he said it. Because usually California talks real calm. It was real calm with him. But his voice, it was like a baby girl. I was like, hey, California, or whatever. But, he you should be confident to know, to just not act this way just because I'm talking to someone else. And I felt like that wasn't a dig at her. It also was a thing of like, let me do my thing and just know I'm going to come back to you. This means be confident in general, because even if I don't come back to you, that does not mean that you're not a great person. I made it like somebody else better. But that's the whole point of this show. And California, like, I'm just trying to still figure things out here. I'm still trying to, get to know people or whatever. Meaning, I haven't 100% committed to you. But the bad part is, she don't get the reason he hasn't. It's because how territorial she's acting. But I'm going to leave that be and let her figure that out for herself. So we then see Mom goes to Rasheed, and she like, I feel like, people should ask what they want. And I want a date with you. He was like, really? And she's like, yeah, I like you, not just, I want a date. He was like, okay, I would love that. He's like, okay, well, I'll let you plan it. I'm saying? That's one kind. And it was real cute. It was real cute how she put herself out there, because she brought up how, I have been nervous or whatever. But, it's amazing what you get if you just ask. Put your foot out there. And again, Simone, the first few episodes was irking my nerve because she was making dumb decisions. But seeing her kind of just realize that she's a beautiful woman and that she should just ask for what she wants. Now, on a little date with him and her, it was real cute. There was like the little backseat of a pickup truck, I'm saying, but it was real nice and woodsy and naturey or whatever. She was look, that green on Simone, baby, looks amazing. Okay, looks like butter or whatever. They look relaxed. They were sitting around this shit and chatting, drinking some wine or whatever. She asked him, like, something about if he likes aggressive women or if he, likes to be the one to make the first move or whatever. And he said, well, sometimes because men are, usually, hunting their prey, they like it when the woman, every so often like takes charge as well. And he said, I like how, you asked me out. But then, once I said cool, you kind of you step back and like let me plan it. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think that's a great thing too. I liked Rasheed and Simone. Okay, there was an easiness to their conversation. I didn't find her thirsty. I found that she was like, I'm here. Let me enjoy the moment or whatever, and let him know that I like him. They kissed. Okay, it was a good little kiss or whatever. They are cool for a first time, conversation with them or whatever. It was real, real cute. People didn't like Rasheed at first. I feel like Rasheed has been consistent in his niceness. Like, he hasn't come off like an asshole. Like, I think he got a bad rap episodes like 1 and 2. But I'm like, I like him. Like, he hasn't given me a bad vibe yet. He just hasn't. And just seeing him sit there and talk with Simone, I was like, oh, he seems cool. And then she did too. So sometimes it's all about the person that you're around that brings out differentness in you. And we know somebody's episode brought about a whole bunch of differentness or whatever. Okay. Now we then see Edwin and Joy was on a little date, okay, and they were doing, tantric yoga, okay. They was all leaning into each other, but again, they had a good time, leaning and breathing and being on each other, whatnot, and he like her, she like him. They keep trying to make this whole thing between, Edwin, Joy, and Jay. Okay, now Edwin was in my comment section last week, okay, because I mentioned that they were saying, that Simone had said on Twitter that Winter and Edwin had a little issue with not that the producers cut out, and I mentioned it. So he was in the comment section. He said, okay, unfortunately they cut out a great deal. The group date between myself, Jay, Joy, and Winter has so much more content, okay? He said, I never said that Winter was my top choice, because I said that in my review, because I thought he said that. He said they did not show where I said that Joy was my top choice also. They are creating a narrative around Jay, Joy, and Winter. They did cut out the scene where Winter claims I yelled at her prior to going into the group date. She tried to check me at the fire pit or whatever that night, but that matter was resolved. I hate they left it out since they obviously wanted drama this season. It's kind of cool when the people in the cast pop into the comment section and whatnot. Cool. But again, when he said they're trying to make a thing around, Joy, Jay, and Winter, I felt like we don't even really see Joy and Jay dating. Joy said how her and Jay be sitting around talking or whatever, but I'm like, but we don't ever see them doing that a lot. We see more of Jay with Winter, and we see more of Joy with Edwin. So I don't know what's going on. I'm going to leave that be or whatever. We then see Winter, Brian, California, and Adriana on a little double date. I didn't care. I didn't know, whatever. Winter said, I don't know why Brian wants to talk to me now. I feel like he's superficial based on him liking me based on kind of how she looks or whatever. I was like, girl, I don't care. Again, Brian should go home, but so should Alex, because I don't think either of them are ready for love. I don't think either of them have a connection with anybody else. I think them two should be the two that goes home. Anyway, we then see who was it? They was all sitting around rapping or whatever, having a little rap beat off and whatever, and California started freestyle. I'm like, okay, you can rap a little bit too, I guess. And then he and Adriana kind of walk off together. Now him and Denise, him and Adriana, and when they do, they on the couch, they talking and chit-chatting, and they start kissing. I was like, oh, girl, I can imagine Denise at home cussing out the whole television, girl. Kissing on the couch. Anyway, and we then see all the men meet up to say who they don't like or do like. Bottom line, these two women are the bottom two. Boom, pow. Okay. For Naya, they brought up the situation with Chris. And for Denise, California brought up how she's very territorial with him, and he feels like it's jealousy. He don't like that. So Rasheed meets with Naya, and Jay meets with Denise. Okay. And so Rasheed, hey, we all feel some kind of way, Naya, over how you just stopped checking for Chris. And then, he was gone the next moment or whatever. And, we saw how much Chris spoke highly of you and y'all connection. And she was like, oh, well, yeah, he may have been mesmerized or whatever, but he was more into me than I was into him. She then said because he wanted to split the finances, and I just wanted to split. I wanted to leave it alone at that point. I never want to have that conversation with a grown man. He was probably just happy to have snagged the attention of one of the baddest ladies here. Where she was like, oh, okay. The way she even was talking to Rasheed about Chris was very much so, Chris don't matter. I don't really care. It is what it is. I didn't like it. We saw the show. Okay, we absolutely saw the show. And I was like, oh, Naya's a whole asshole. Because she was speaking and looking as if he's dirt on my shoe. I didn't like him. He liked me. It was him thinking, he was confused. It wasn't me. I'm like, but we saw the show. And it's like Naya has become a completely different person than who she was in episodes 1 through 4. Okay, in episode 6 is when she first changed. And I'm like, in this Naya, who the fuck is you? Okay, now with Denise, Jay explains how, what the people feel like, him saying, you only focusing your energy on one person or whatever, and sometimes it's a little bit too much or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And, they kind of like that. Okay. And she was able to assess her own critique. Okay. So what they think is, I'm coming on too, aggressive for this dating situation. And also that, you know what I'm saying, a man wants to be sure that I'm not jealous and I can be comfortable if he's around other women. And I was like, that's exactly what it is or whatever. So, again, we then see that Denise is spared, okay? Denise is spared, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, fine. And then we have Naya, okay? And Naya went, as she's sitting with Rasheed, and Rasheed said, we feel like, you're not ready to love. She instantly got up, okay? And then she said with an attitude, okay, to Rasheed, say that to the couch. He then says, well, you're not ready to love, to the couch. She walks out, pissed off and upset. Now the producers, we see them like, what's wrong or whatever. Nothing wrong, but y'all not finna embarrass me. He asked if she can then come down and do the interview like they do that in an interview. No, because my boyfriend is waiting for me. I'm like, boyfriend? What? Boyfriend? Honey, she said, I didn't like anyone here, okay? I didn't like anyone during this process at all. You know what I'm saying? It was nice that they had a chance to date me because I'm the prize. I am always the prize. None of these men are what I need in my life. I never liked Edwin. I had other options at home, okay, before I came here, and I put them on hold to come on television to see if there was anybody else I could possibly date. Naya, you came on the show complaining that you needed a man because you wanted babies, because you kept having miscarriages. You came on here with a sob story about losing children and needing a man who wanted children with you. You went on this whole grass walking, earth feeling the spirits and the energy of the world with Chris. You, for episode after episode, hanging with Chris. You then diss Chris because he didn't want to pay your goddamn bills. Now we seen you on this episode kissing Edwin's ass, okay? And you want to come on here and then say you had options outside of the show and you are the baddest bitch walking. Then why are you single? Okay, if you were the baddest bitch walking, you wouldn't even need options because someone would have snagged your ass up. If you were the baddest bitch on the show, why did no one like you but Chris? No one. Okay? No one. Okay? You may feel like you are the best one. That's fine. Your ego and your attitude and the balls of you to feel as if you were able to come on the show and waste everyone's time because you felt like, oh, I need to see if there's other options here. Girl, the fuck bye. You felt like you did not want the show to embarrass you. You embarrassed yourself. No one will want to date you now because your attitude is fucked up. And when you don't get what you want, you become a bitch. And for no reason. You will get what you have sown. Okay? You reap what you sow. That's life. And the way you treated Rasheed, who was just telling you, hey, your time is up. That's the point of the show. To be rude to him and get up and walk out as if it's his fault that you did some bullshit the last episode. Okay, I'm like, that was rude. Then to be rude to the producers, walking away, my man, I'm like, it's a reason you single, and it has nothing to do with anything besides you are a rotten person from the inside out, okay? Because anyone who makes it seem as if they have a connection with somebody and then completely cuts them off because their financial stance on things and one conversation didn't match what you wanted. You did not want to have a follow-up financial situations and conversations happen multiple times over, a relationship. You asked, not even you, your cousin asked him a question and he just kind of said something. And that may have been his thought process, but again, how you treated him was fucked up. And so we will see you now as a fucked up individual. And I cannot wait for the reunion because they're gonna call your ass out because you fake. You are a fake person. Okay, because you came on here under false pretenses. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? You are the reason that you were on the show. I don't believe for not near bit of the moment that you have all these prospects at home that you put on hold to come here to try to find out if you had more. You came on the show for one, because it was TV, and two, because you're single and lonely. Ain't nothing wrong with that. It ain't nothing. People get single and get along, that's fine. But the reason it's an issue for me with you is because how you treated other people. Girl, you a liar. You a whole ass liar. Girl, Naya acted as if she had fooled the whole world. And came here just because she had nothing else to do. Bitch, you took COVID tests. You left. Naya ain't shit. Okay, she ain't gonna be shit today or tomorrow, until she do right by Chris and Edwin. No good. I could not believe how she acted. It was so childish and messy and petty to act as if we didn't see you vibing with Edwin and Chris, and for you to be on here acting like you vibing, you were a more fucked up individual. Anyway. I'm done because I cannot. Girl. Next season, they need to have like a couples therapist who is with the people. You know what I'm saying? To kind of talk them through the bullshit. Because someone should have weeded Naya's ass out on episode 2. Anyway, I'm done. Peace.